What is your full name?
My name is Betty Ruth Scharschmidt Warnke.
Warnke of Warnke.
When and where were you born?
I was born in Oakfield, Wisconsin on November 28th, 1929. And I was baptized in Oakfield on December 13th, 1930.
Princeton, Wisconsin.
Yeah. May 16th, 1928.
When you grew up, did you have a nickname?
Well, my grandpa called me Beba, and my brother
That's what
Felix
I would
still
say.
calls me Beba. Otherwise, it was Betts.
Beba, I called you Beba too.
So what did they call you when you were growing up? Just Gordy?
Yes.
My dad was born in, I think what was Austria-Hungary, and his dad came over to this country because he wanted to work a while and get rich, and then he was going to go back. Well, then he was here a couple of years, and then he brought the rest of the family over. He brought Grandma and the other children, and they lived in Chicago because Grandpa was a carpenter. He did a lot of cabinet work. And how they came to be at Oakfield, I'm not sure. But Dad was on a farm there from, well, before 1920.
How did your family come to live in Princeton, Wisconsin?
See, Grandma and Grandpa Lipke lived in Princeton and had a daughter, Frida, who Otto Warnke married.
And Otto and Frida are your parents. So that's how they came to live in Princeton. They just lived where their parents were.
Well, I don't know, my dad was born in Germania. Well, I think for employment is where they were relatives in the lumber business.
So when you were born on that farm in Oakfield?
Yes, I was born on the farm, and so were all of my brothers and sisters.
Every one of you was born there?
Everyone was born on the farm.
How old were you when you moved?
I was 9 years old. We moved in 1939 in October to Markesan.
How many bedrooms were in the house that you lived in?
5.
How many bathrooms?
1.
So when you grew up, you had indoor plumbing?
Yes.
Electricity?
Yes.
Radio?
Yes.
TV?
No.
You remember that house in Oakfield? That farmhouse?
Oh yes, I remember that house. It was a big house. The rooms were all like 15 by 15. There had been, my dad told me that there were fireplaces in every room when he moved into the house, but they took those out, and they had a big central furnace which they used to heat the whole house. And then there were registers. There were 4 bedrooms upstairs and a big hallway, and there was a big foyer in the downstairs, plus a living room, a huge dining room, and a bedroom, and a big kitchen.
Did that house have indoor plumbing?
It did. It had in the basement, it had a toilet, which drained out into the river.
Was that the only bathroom?
Well, we didn't really have a bathroom. What we did is we heated the water in a big tub out in the summertime outside, and then we carried it into the basement, and we took a bath in a great big wooden tub.
Everybody together?
Well, the smaller kids had to use the same bath water, and then they dumped it out, and the older ones could always have fresh water. And in the wintertime, we had a big wooden stove, and there was a area on there where we heated the water, and then we'd put buckets or big pans on top of the wood stove too, and heat the water. And then we took sponge baths. Mother would put up a couple chairs with a blanket over it so we would have some privacy, and we'd sit behind there and take a bath.
Did that house have electricity?
No, we didn't have electricity. We had kerosene lamps. And I remember when Dad came home with an Aladdin lamp, and that one was the brightest thing that we had ever seen. Otherwise, we had just kerosene lamps and lanterns in the barn.
How about a telephone?
There was a telephone, but it didn't work. And we had a radio. It was a huge radio, but that only worked once in a while too. We didn't have it all the time.
Where did that get its power?
That was operated by batteries. And those radio programs that we listened to were, Mother always listened to The Guiding Light and All My Children, and at night we listened to the news, which was Gabriel Heater, and then sometimes we would listen to a show like Captain Midnight and Tom Mix.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
Well, 2 brothers and 1 sister.
What kind of things did you do for fun when you were young?
Played ball,
Baseball?
baseball, and basketball.
Were there movies in town?
Yes, 1 theater,
Do you go there every once in a while?
often.